What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be diving into a Massacre Troll deck. And, well, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You get to play a big worm and a... You can play a big worm and a big troll all in one. Sorry, having the two monitors still kind of messes with me. I got to click back over here and yada, yada, yada. Anyways, I've always wanted to play a deck along this variation where we use troll and worm in combination, right? Because troll gives your opponents the goats, and then you have worm come down and it destroys the goats and minuses your opponent's life, right? But I just never really got around to it. But now we have enough, right? 2 trolls, 3 worms, should be plenty. And we also have the Viviens out the wazoo. The reason for the Viviens, of course, if you get down the Vivien, you -2 and you cast the worm, what's going to end up happening? You're going to get the troll down first, which is going to create the 0/1 goats and all that shenanigans. And then you're going to get the worm down, which is going to take out all the goats and, of course, deal that 6 damage to the opponent and also leave you with a 6/5 and an 8/8 with trample and haste on the board, which is, you know, pretty pleasant. Also, it's going to mean that your opponent won't have anything to sacrifice if they don't have anything down already, right? Anyways, outside of just the big obvious plays and combos of Vivien into Worm Troll, or Troll Worm, however you want to say that, we have a whole lot of control in this deck. We have 4 copies of Bloodchiefs, 2 copies of Eliminate, 2 copies of Heartless Act, 3 copies of Mythos, 2 copies of Extinction Event, 2 copies of Yugen. The removal of the control is so strong, so powerful here, that it's really going to be almost overbearing for your opponent to even get out of the first 3-4 turns without feeling like they just want to quit, right? Outside of the control, we do have 2 copies of Wolfwillow Haven, which helps us ramp up. Of course, we have Yugens and, you know, big worms we're trying to cast down, so it does help. Mazemind also allows us to draw and cycle through our deck and find those cards that we need to find, like Yugen, Vivien, Polukranos, blah, 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 blah. Not only that, it gains us 4 life, so it's really, really key up against those aggro players that are just trying to smash face. Mono red, Gruul, I'm looking at you guys. Girls, whichever. Mythos of Nethroi, really nice actually. This card can destroy almost anything, any non-land permanent, artifacts, enchantments, planeswalkers, creatures, you name it, it's got it. We do have the white mana in the deck. I will say the original deck had like 4 copies of Indatha Triome or something like that, but we're fine with where we're at. You know, we put in some temples and I think things will play out just fine. So Mythos of Nethroi, really good, destroys that kind of stuff, the miscellaneous, right? And we have a whole lot of miscellaneous stuff running around right now. 4 copies of Cultivate, which, you know, you need to ramp up in this deck, so 4 copies is fine. You also have the Wolfwillow Haven to help you ramp up, and Mazemind to help you scry to make sure you're hitting your lands on curve, or if that's what you need, whatever, right? So maybe 4 copies of Cultivate's a bit much, or maybe I was just seeing them a whole lot in my games, but I did find a few games where we were just sort of flooded. And I know we have Turntimber, we have Yugen, so we have things to put that mana to use. It just feels a little bad if you're not seeing that stuff, right? Anyways, 2 copies of Extinction Event, big board removal, we all love it. Polukranos, 4 mana for the 6/6, that's insane value off the bat. You can have it fight other stuff, it's an escape creature, so it's good value just in being a creature. It does its job. It's good removal, right? It can fight multiple stuff and remove it. And it's an escape card, which means it's a little bit harder for the rogues to deal with. It's a little bit better against rogues even, right? Because you can escape it and they can mill it, and then boom, you just got a card that you previously didn't have access to. Anyways, Clackbridge, we've all seen it before. It enters the battlefield, creates 3/0/1 white goats for the opponent. They can choose to sacrifice 1, tapping the troll, gaining you 3 life, and drawing you a card. Obviously, if you have the Massacre Wurm combo come down, they don't get to do that. Massacre Wurm comes down, -2/-2 on all your opponent's creatures. If a creature the opponent controls dies, then that player loses 2 life. Then to finish out the deck, of course, we have Turntimber, which is generally going to be grabbing, you know, worms and Clackbridge and Polukranos, so you're generally going to get your mana's worth in this card. Also acts as a land, which is nice. And then, of course, big ol' Yugen to exile everything, destroy stuff, and maybe potentially getting down those, you know, 7 permanents, draw 7 cards kind of stuff, because that's always fun. Anyways, this is a best of 1 deck, so no sideboard. The lands are as best as you can possibly do. Hope you've been enjoying the decks, the video, the gameplay, all that nice stuff. If so, please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. We are so close to 10,000 subscribers, and I can't tell you how much it means to me. Well, 1, that we've even gotten this close, but 2, that we're on the cusp of this crazy thing. Am I right? We got a lot of cool stuff coming to the channel, new emotes, new website actually coming for this channel, and another one that's sort of been on the hush and hush. But, you know, more details about that later. You're going to have to stick around to see what's in the works, so to speak, on that other side of things. Anyways, without further ado, I'll quit rambling. Make sure you're watching all the way through to the end of the video and that you're coming back daily, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hello, we have these videos once a day, new decks. This one or yesterday's, someone around this time was a little late. I'm sorry, we were doing, you know, behind the scenes stuff, but all that is equally important, and so, you know, we got to do it. Anyways, thanks again. I'll quit rambling. Let's get into some mad. Gidbon, or Gidboni? I don't know. Either way, we got some controlling stuff here to start out with. We got the Mazemind Tome, so I'm feeling pretty happy about this. And for the YouTube people, this is a new setup. It may not seem too much like it, but the camera is straight on. We'll keep that Fabled. But the camera is straight on now instead of at an angle. The green screen, which you can't see, is set up differently. And we're going to go ahead and drop this Mazemind, by the way. The opponent's playing some kind of Jeskai variant. I don't see a Ludus. I don't see any cycling thus far. Okay, sure. But the audio may be a little different. I completely took everything out of the office yesterday, rearranged everything, set it all up nice and neat. Problem when you take stuff out of a room, it leaves it empty, and whenever you have an empty room, and of course it's made of wood, it reverbs, or, you know, has this sort of echoey effect to it. So that's probably what you're hearing. We're not going to use the Bloodchief's Thirst here on the 1/1. It's just not big enough, you know, not a big enough threat. Not when Bloodchiefs can take out a Planeswalker. You know, you got to think about the other stuff. Vivien, we're only at 4 mana and we already have a Vivien in hand, so that's a pretty easy screw out of the bottom there. And we drew a land. Hey, dreams really do come true. We're just going to pass it back to the foe. We could get down Polukranos here, but knowing that they have the counter magic and all that, I'm fine with just keeping up Heartless Act, having Mazemind Tome, taking the 1 damage, playing a little defensively, right? Alright, so let's go ahead and activate the Fabled. We'll probably go ahead and draw a card with Mazemind here. So we have double black, we have double green. I feel like we might need a little bit more black with the removal. Oh, but we have the swamp in hand. Sorry. I'm just apologizing to the other screen at this point. Again, that shark, it's just not big enough or scary enough to warrant me to remove it. I'm going to keep playing a little defensively. I know Polukranos has escape and blah, 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 blah. Mythos of Nethroi is pretty good removal. We're going to ramp up here a little bit, turn one of these swamps into a pseudo double land, so to speak. Thirst for Meaning, they're drawing some cards. Also must mean that they have a few enchantments, which we're not hoping to see a Teferi's Tutelage, but, you know, it's a little bit late into the game. Of course, they still have plenty. Oh no, they just discarded 2. Interesting. Alright, well, let's end the turn. I will say it's a little weird because now that the camera is directly on me, I have nowhere to escape to. Before I could just sort of like, but I can't now. Yeah, pass the damage. There's no escaping, you guys and girls. Let's keep drawing, because why not? You know, it's there, it's free, sort of. Mythos Turntimber. So if I go for Vivien, you know, I kind of want to. There. Neutralize. Yeah, you hate to see it, but it happens. Maybe we should have went for the Polukranos first, given we can escape that. Also would have left up mana for Nethroi to a degree. I don't really want to use a Nethroi if I don't get to really use it, you know what I mean? We should save it for like a Shark Typhoon that they hardcast or something. Anyways, let's draw and gain some life. Look at that, all those 1 ticks you did with the shark, it's like they didn't even matter. Temple? Sure. Another Vivien, hey. We don't need any more lands, although respects to the Bob Ross lands, we just don't need them. I'm gonna go for the Polukranos here. Again, we can escape it potentially. Oh no, it just lands. All right, well, I'm not gonna spend the mana on it quite yet, though we can to take out the 1/1. Again, if you can do something in instant speed, it's better to wait until your opponent's end step. If it's not gonna kill you, it generally makes you stronger, so to speak. Whoops, should have killed the shark there. Now I'm just being blind. That's okay, you know. We're gonna go for combat first and foremost. See if we can't burn some of that mana the opponent has. They may just block with the 1/1, but hey, that's 3 mana we didn't have to burn. Am I right? Of course, that is 6 damage we didn't get to deal, or 5, depending on how you want to look at it. You know, I really think they have more counter magic. Let's try and burn it on the Vivien. Maybe we can get the Turntimber down just in one big scooperoo. That's a word. Don't tell me it's not a word, scooperoo. I've seen it in Webster's. Counter and bounce. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather it be bounced than just destroy it, if I'm being honest. We'll end the turn on that note. I could play Turntimber down as a land, but I'm not too keen on that idea, honestly. So both Vivien's in graveyard, not happy about that, but that's okay. We got a Polukranos army. They're all unchained, and they're... Ooh. So I need some white mana now. Give me a Fabled, give me a Triome. I know I only have one of the Triomes. This deck does originally have like 3 or 4 Triomes, so... yeah, that's on me. Me being a cheap ass. Anyways, let's go Polukranos. Today's not about me. It's about well, it was about worms and goats, but we haven't really seen any so far. That's okay. We're still having a nice game here. It's a good testament to what the deck can withstand, right? Because we certainly haven't had it easy. Seagate Restoration. Hey, draw a lot of cards. That is going to proc their Ominous Seas a few times. That's okay, though, because you know the nice thing about those big 8/8 Krakens is they're not the ones with hexproof, right? Okay, make sure I'm not eating my own words. We're good, and they're all tapped out now. Yes, now that I don't have a Vivien. That's okay. We're going to get down Turntimber. Oh, hey, look, it's a big troll. They get to create the little goats. Do I want to remove the goats? That's an option. I can remove 1 goat. Well, no, I don't think so. They are going to sacrifice 1. I get to draw a card, gain some life. Swing in with the Polukranos. They're going to take the damage. Hey. We could remove 2 goats now. We have 2 Bloodchiefs. That was an option. But we'll wait. If I can do that on my turn, and then the only thing they'll have left is the... Okay, they got 2 Krakens. 1 does have hexproof now. That's it's a little bit of an issue. But that's okay, because our troll just trades with it, right? Or what is troll? Troll is odd. Oh, that's really good. So what we need to do is off this Polukranos and then drop an Extinction Event, essentially. Right? That's our game plan. All right. Well, how do we get rid of the Polukranos without just directly sending it into the Kraken? Because obviously that feels wasteful. And then still use Extinction Event, you know? That's the real question here. How much mana do we have? 1, 2. Let's also let our opponent know we're thinking. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Extinction's 4. You know, I think I just hit this straight up for even. And say, sorry, Polu. You don't want to do that. You know what's happening here. I'm leaving enough mana so I can still Heartless Act their little Kraken. Come on. Negate. Oh, dirty dog. Alright. You want to play hardball? I'll play hardball. How do we play hardball with this person, though? I guess... Okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm taking out your Kiora. Haha. That's my answer. It's not necessarily a bad answer either, right? Because that's a whole tap everything, take something kind of play there. And now they don't have the counter magic to stop me. Maybe I should have went for the Mythos first. You know, yeah, I don't know. I guess it really depends. So, next to combat? Or do I Bloodchiefs the little 0/1s? I mean, they're gonna get the other 8/8, which is my biggest concern. And I think for that, I need to be prepared. They're leaving it. Oh, okay. So we'll swing in with this one. I'm gonna leave Polukranos back. You're okay, Polyk. I suspect you have fallen for my trap card. I did that before they chose Defender, so they wouldn't just block with it, and then I destroyed anyways. This way we actually get to take out their other 8/8. Now, does it cost me my 8/8? Sure, but you know, we're here to see big monsters clash, am I right? We just saw a Kraken and a Clackbridge Troll battle it out for the king spot. Neither one of them lived, neither one of them won. But, you know, Polyk remains unchained. Yeah, hey, you want to mill yourself? You can go right on ahead. How many are they procking up here? Woo! Woo! That's a lot of counters. That deserves a nice. You know, we still haven't seen that worm yet. Still have not seen that worm. Alright, well, we're going to do the silly thing here. We're going to swing him with Polyk, I think. Because I need to proc those Krakens out, and I feel like this is the best way to do it. And I can just Bloodchief thirst him, right? No? No? You gonna play hardball? My fear here is that they are going to wait until my end step. And then, boom, bam, 2 Krakens. What are you doing? When else do you play the Krakens if not in your opponent's end step? Am I right? Okay. You know, in all fairness, they have drawn like 20 million cards this game, so I can't be too mad that they've seen both of them, right? It's not like they got milled and that's why they're down to 24 cards. No, they drew them. They did this fair and square, so to speak. Do I want to go to my turn, or do I want to use the Polyk mana stuff? Let's go ahead and take out you, Senior Goat. Do I fight Polyk into the 8/8 just to get rid of it, and then I can escape it and bring it back? It's a 12/12. No? I'm gonna say no. That just, oh, come on. The other Cultivate. You're kidding me. That's fine. We're playing a slow roll game, you know? The opponent, they do actually have the fear, the worry of milling themselves. Goodbye, Senor Kraken. Boop. Now we just leave Polyk back to defend. Oh, Kiora is gonna tap our stuff. Oh, yes! So good there, Gidbon. Goodbye. Get it? Get. Anyways. Gidbon, goodbye. It kind of makes sense if you don't think about it too hard. So they easily could have had this game, by the way, if anyone was curious. They've just made a few misplays here and there with the timing on when to bring the Krakens down. Yeah, that's the thing with Krakens. Everyone thinks, you know, you drop an 8/8 on the board, you're good to go, but that's not, you know, the Kraken's a beast just like a kitten. You gotta know when to let it out of its cage, and so to speak, you know? I don't think you should keep cats in cages. That's not what I'm saying. It's like a big cat, you know, like a lion. I feel like I need to specify that there. New camera or just different lighting? A little bit different lighting. So I've done a completely new setup on everything, really. Why can't I have Polukranos fight another creature? Oh, because right, there's not another creature for it to fight. Oh. You know, drawing 3 cultivates in a row, while it means that I now have 0 lands left in my, yes, that is correct, opponent. I have drawn 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 cultivates in a row. We're bound to draw playables. That's non-cultivate playables, non-land playables. We have 27 cards left in our deck, and again, it's not because we've been milled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Ooh, we have more lands than cards in graveyard. That's pretty impressive nowadays. Wow, look at those Kraken counters, am I right? They're really about to actually take us to Pound Town. Surely they realize this now. Alright, GG. We can't keep it up. Goodbye. You got us. We get to go first. JP Zorg. What up, Zorg? What is that game, Zork? Was that the text-based game where you run through and it's like, go north, go west? I feel like people nowadays, I feel like kids nowadays, teenagers, young adults, would have a problem playing that kind of game. They get all kinds of confused. We got GPS and all that kind of stuff. I feel like I hit the weird little split intersection of technology and old people, if that makes sense, of elder, pre-internet people, so to speak. Because I definitely grew up with internet in a manner, you know, once I hit being a teenager. But as a kid, you know, I grew up in Alabama. Internet wasn't really a thing. Grandma played solitaire on the computer, but I wouldn't necessarily call that internet. And actually, I think the computer came with solitaire. We didn't have internet. It's a built-in function. Anyways, enough rambling. Let's just Bloodchief's Thirst this little edge wall, right? Like, what do you think? You think you're gonna draw some cards? Not today, Sonny. I remember playing Oregon Trail in school as a kid in the 80s. Yeah, I had a friend that would actually play that at school just because he was like, look, Chance, I figured out a way to play this at school. And I was like, I mean, yeah, that's cool. I was a kid, so, you know, nothing really impressed me. I was always like, oh, if it's not actual video games, it doesn't count. I don't want to see some game from the 80s, but nowadays I'm like, oh yeah, it's pretty cool. Cheating the system. I see what you're doing there. Anyways, we're gonna drop a Polukranos. The opponent's completely tapped out, so you know, why not is my logic on that. Again, I keep wanting to look there to see y'all, and it's here. Here you are. Here I am. I like this new camera because I have all this extra space back here. Sorry, Beanstalk Giant for the foe. I feel like I'm not like cramped up into the corner. On my previous setup, I was always like riding the side of my desk. 2 Beanstalk Giants. You know what I bet they have? I bet they have an ultimatum. A wee little bitty ultimatum. Grabbing that plains out. You never know when you're gonna need a Nethroy. Ooh, a troll. Love to troll people. It's like my favorite internet thing to do with the kids is go around trolling. I feel like I'm a bad old person, right? I'm only 25, and I know some people think I'm much older or much younger, you know, depending on how I'm acting on any given day. And the beard length, right? I know that sort of adds or subtracts, again, depending. Kazandu, I think not. Well, I mean, you can have the Kazandu, but I think not with the Terra. We don't really have to pay that, so it's like whatever. It's whatever. Look at this. I'm just dismantling you. You built up all that mana. You didn't even have the freaking fracking. I feel like I dropped the Clackbridge after, right? So I get the guaranteed damage, and the next turn they're sort of staring down the barrel of a 45. Or did I just drop it now? Nah, I just drop it now. We came to see a troll. You want me to not play a troll? That's crazy. Alright, gain the life, draw a card. It's a swamp. a little bit of a bust, but that's okay. Yep. They block up. We're giving them a little bit more time, but that's what I like about this deck. You know, it's about fairness. I get a big worm and big troll and big Hydra. I'm not gonna lie, that Hydra reminds me of Cerberus for some reason. You know, maybe it's the like dog-like manner of the back end. I don't know. You know what they say, don't judge an animal by the back end, though. Alright. Take out the Beanstalk Giant. They do have another one in reserve, but this will at least give us this turn. This solemn turn. I think they sacrifice Goat here. Yeah. Mazemind. Hey, I do like that. It's a card draw engine. They have 2 mana. What is it? Bone Crusher. Yeah, very nice. Let's do this. In turn. So that was weird. The little, it went to 2. It went to 2 health. Wonder why that is. Instead of going to 4 health. Anyways, let's draw a Cardarino here. Oh no. We're going down this rabbit hole again. Cultivate City. Do you feel cultivated? Hey, there's a land off the top. I feel this cultivate is almost a requirement then, right? Another freaking land? Wait. Game. Stop. Okay, it'll be okay. You ain't gotta take your anger out on me. Alright, +1 on the Vivien, obviously. Let's go Vigilance. Switch things up a little bit. Get a little crazy. I think we are gonna just swing all in here, you know? Because I feel like with enough force, we can beat them down. Kick them around. Push them to the ground. Alright, in turn. We're definitely gonna scry that forest away. Don't you guys and girls worry. It's not coming out to hand. It's not coming into fruition. Aha! Now you're stuck on the cultivate train. How's it feel? Nothing but lands. Nothing but lands. Alright, let's get you out of here. No! What in the heck? What is this? Alright, so if God. I gotta keep Vivien there. I'm sorry. I really feel like I shouldn't. Oh, that's so good, though. That's so good, too. I'm just happy with these draws we're getting, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. Alright, so what we do here is actually just swing in with Polukranos. This forces them to block with Bone Crusher, so we don't have to spend our mana to take it out, right? And that's always good for us. And then if we want to, we can bring back the big 12/12. Yeah. But then we only have 2 mana left over. I'm certainly not using that Cultivate. You're crazy if you think I am. I think we bring back big Hydra boy over here. And of course, always leave my creatures in the graveyard. I don't know if we have any reanimation in this deck or not, but you know. God, I love the animation of Polukranos. So the picture reminds me of Cerberus for some reason. Maybe it's also the Roman thing, or I don't know. But the animation reminds me of the Hercules movie, the old animated one, right? Where it's like all the Hydras are just coming up and attacking, and it looks vicious. Anyways, JP Zorg, we're taking them down. And what an epic game, too. Butterbutts? Boots? Is it butter boots? Butts. I'm gonna keep it. We got the Cultivate, we got the Yugen, we got Mythos action. And we can get the white mana off the Cultivate, so you know. And a Clackbridge, hey, click clack. How do we always draw Troll but rarely see the Worm? Hey, Vivien. I'm not complaining so far. Here we write Pingam. Ah, gotcha. All right, Butter. What you got? By the way, this card sleeve, really, really awesome. Whether you like the Godzillas or not in the game, despite the controversy, you gotta appreciate that that land there. So that and that. Or I guess it's a sleeve, it's not a land. You know what I mean, though. Let's not give them... Well, they already know, right? Because we reveal it. I was going to say, let's not give them the information of the planes, but you already know. So we're going to be up to 5. That is a Vivien if we want it. Or a Clackbridge if we want it. If I go Vivien first, then we have the potential to hit the Clackbridge on the -2, so... Yeah, go big or go home. Neutralize? Yeah. Send Vivien packing. We gotta get those pesky counter spells out of there sometime. Troll, Vivien, hell, it don't matter to me. It's all big, fun, cool stuff in my eyes. We're definitely gonna go for the Clackbridge here. Now, they can phase out to Fairy. They can, like... Ooh, okay. It seems a little funky to do that, but whatever. Far be it from me. I'm gonna scry before... We already have an Extinction Event. I don't think we need that. Temple? Well, Despo is one step closer to Yugen. The Spirit Dragon. We also have Mythos of Nethroi, so we can deal with the Fairy. Relatively easy. I'd be willing to bet that they're going to phase out our Clackbridge here. Shatter? No, they're just going to draw me a card. Hey. That's fine. We also have two Massacre Wurms. I make one complaint about Massacre Wurm, and then all of a sudden it's everywhere. Ooh, that Vivien is really nice. I'm gonna try and hard slam this Massacre. I know they still have 2 mana left to sort of try to counter something, but hey, they don't. Because the thing is, if I can hit the Vivien and I can hit a Troll off of the Vivien, and then I can hit the Worm off of the, Vivien, Troll, all that stuff, that's a lot of damage, relatively. It's a lot of cool damage, if nothing else. Dream Trawler, yes. Tap out. Now, they're probably going to phase out one of my worms here. Whatever. Whatever. Let them. You gotta let your opponent do the non-fun stuff so you can do the fun stuff, right? Obviously, this is also going to take us one more turn. We do have the Mythos, though. Should I go for... Right, we already got out the white mana. We have double black, double... So, it's all pretty even. Let's just grab a green just because. Am I taking out Teferi? I mean... They're very close to taking 2 extra turns, and I think that's just a little too much, you know what I mean? A little too heavy, so. We say au revoir for now, Teferi. Isn't that how you say it in French? Au revoir? Goodbye. Sayonara, sucker. Hey, Azrael, thank you for the sub with Prime Gaming. I like how they specify that it's Prime Gaming nowadays. All right, anyways, Vivien, don't forget you're the reach counter blocker stopper. And then we'll get in with Massacre Wurm, because of course they're not gonna block with the Trawler. Like, you crazy? You ever seen a Trawler block something that it was gonna die to? I haven't. I've seen the person scoop when that was gonna happen. For sure, I've been loving the content. Hey, happy to make you happy. It's my job. So for those of you watching on YouTube and here on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure you hit that subscribe button, click that bell icon. Don't be a stranger. Love to see you here more often. Anyways, here recently we're working towards the 10,000 subscriber mark, and this is nice. But I'm working on the website, and I think I've come to the decision that it's going to be. You gotta be 6 mana, don't you, Trawler? Freaking jackass. I was trying to think of a better word, but ultimately, you're just a jackass. So I'll call it as I see it. We're going to take out this ECD before it makes things a little difficult as far as our non-creature spells, aka Ugin Bloodchief's Thirst and Extinction Event. And I don't really want to use this on Dream Trawler. I hate that this is the same mana cost. You know what? Oh, you know what? I figured it out. Okay. I'll come back to what I was talking about with the 10,000 subscribers in a second. So we do that. Then we do this. Ha ha ha. Even, right? All right. I didn't want to click odd. That'd be really embarrassing. So, what I was saying, we're building towards the website and the emotes and all that. Another one? I feel like DJ Khaled right now. Fuck. Fuck a duck, am I right? Anyways, I'm not going for the Ugin. I know that's the obvious play. Just get down Ugin, exile it. I don't... No, you get down Ugin. You go play your own game of Magic and get down Ugin and exile it. You copy this deck and go recreate this scenario. And then we'll have a talk. Okay? Anyways, we're coming up on the 10,000. I'm building a website for the channel, but I think I've come to the decision that it's not just going to be like, hey, this is drspell.com, well, go look at that. I think it's actually going to be like I don't want to call it a personal website where it's like, oh, I'm just building a website just because. It's still going to be very interactive, but I think it's going to tie into the second channel that I'm working or have been working on as well. So it's a very big overarching project that I'm sort of putting myself up to, but I definitely feel like it's going to be well worth the problem essentially in the end, or the trouble, the hassle. You know what I'm saying, right? Why not kill the trawler with the thirst? Because if I try to kill the trawler with the thirst, they'll just discard something. Phases out? You're gonna phase me out? That's fucked up. That is super duper messed up. So the Teferi's super low. They don't have anything to sacrifice except for the trawler. I think we just take this one to the dome. Draw all the cards you want, Teferi. I don't care. Smack them. But yeah, if I try to remove the trawler, they'll just discard a card and give it indestructible. So that's what trawler is great for. I could send all of my, removal at it and hope, but fuck, I'm not that low on health. They can't realistically, especially at this point, afford to attack with trawler. So they still are though. Hey. Far be it from me to tell you how to live your life, what dreams to trawl. Looking forward to seeing what you have in the works. It's not like Magic oriented, and I feel like I should preface it in saying that, right? Like, this is not going to be a Magic oriented second channel. This is going to be like a chance sort of oriented second channel. But I do have some stuff that I'm really excited for. It's just it's extremely difficult to lay that out and have that be consistent with what I'm trying to do. So without getting anything away. They only have 1 mana. I feel like it's time to just... So if I go for this on the Teferi phases out my creature, right? Alright, tell you what. Go ahead. You phase out. Yep. That's fine. Sending that one to the dome. I mean, how many trawlers can they have left? Realistically, right? How many trawlers can one lad have? I should get everything, right? Except for the Clackbridge. Because it's phased out, so. In case anybody was wondering, like, how does that happen, gents? Oh, that's the 3rd trawler. You know what? Play that land. Son of a bitch. If they'd have played the land, I'd have felt a hell of a lot better about... You know what? Let's just try and attack. I highly doubt they block it, because they got... No, they have to. They have to, right? Because we have Yugen. Haha. You fool! Yeah. Not even thinking. That's right, Butter. Get out of here.